Hello, I'm Jacob. You're watching the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. Today I'm going to talk to you about why I have gotten rid of my smartphone. If you guys didn't know, recently on a road trip, Mission to Michigan, I absolutely destroyed my smartphone. I am going to get the Mission to Michigan trip video edited and uploaded fairly shortly. However, destroyed my smartphone, and I had said that it was the last smartphone I was going to own. Um, Part of the reason I will talk about here, and part of the reason is I am not going to go to 5G. So, a lot of this started with what was at the time a conspiracy theory, that your phone was always listening to what you said. However, a few years ago, my wife and I were at the grocery store at Walmart actually, and we said something about some olive oil, Pompeii olive oil it was. I had never ever written those words together, never mentioned it, never took a picture of it, never thought of it. I just said in the store something about that's that Pompeii oil that we had bought last time, or something along those lines. And when I got home, my ads on Facebook were running advertisements for Pompeii olive oil. So it is no longer a conspiracy theory that your phone is constantly monitoring what you say and throws up red flags for the highest bidder for people who are talking about certain things to advertise to them. So whatever mega conglomeration owns Pompeii oil paid a certain amount of money for any time the words Pompeii oil popped up on the audio pickup of a smartphone in the pocket, to then send their advertisements to that smartphone, to that person. Might have even been, the ads might have even popped up on my computer on my Facebook, not even on my cell phone. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while. But that is a real thing. So now we have, people talking about smartphones using your camera to save pictures of your face and to track where you're going and what you're doing. And those are not verified, I don't believe. But here's the bottom line, and it's kind of crazy to me that rational and moral conservatives, the type who grew up reading 1984, are thinking that they're fighting this Big Brother state. And what they don't realize is that Big Brother already figured out how to make you want Big Brother. And knowing this, it is still difficult for me to get rid of my smartphone. And also, so these conservatives who should know this or should be wary of this, I have found, have become the most offended at the very thought. Leaving comments like, you can't do it, you're not important enough to be tracked, you're overreacting, this, that, and the other thing. Because they don't want to get rid of their smartphones. And but what all of this is data being automatically recorded on everyone's phones, automatically being categorized, and automatically being bought and sold. And if you believe that only private corporations who want to sell you an $8 bottle of olive oil are listening to your conversations and buying your data, you're an idiot. So why smartphones? I've heard a lot of people talk about why they don't understand why smartphones are so expensive. And I think this is foolishness. I don't understand why smartphones are so cheap, except that they are subsidized. And when, by the way, I have to mention that when I talk about big brother or government, I'm not necessarily talking about US government. Our government is too incompetent to X, Y. Yeah, they are. They absolutely suck at actually governing. But the people who are pulling their strings don't. They want you to believe that your government is incompetent. They want the actual offices of your government to be incompetent. But the people pulling their strings are not incompetent. That's how all of this works. That's how corporatism and the free market and the government and healthcare and transportation, everything else is all tied together by someone who's not incompetent. And not only that, but nations tied together as well. And now a lot of this is religious, and a lot of it does come back to religion. We know that we are not warring against kings and nations, but powers and principalities. Think of the implications. Everything that you see is a lie. Everything that you see is a story that is being spun to make you believe in the world that is being presented to you. The reality is only the forward movement of the Antichrist and Satan on a timeline that is predetermined. So, this timeline can be advanced by democratic leadership in America or Republican leadership in America. There's an agenda, and certain tasks can be accomplished, and some of them can seem to give you more freedom or come from a more freedom-loving president and political side. And a lot of it can come from an authoritarian, totalitarian government side as well. And it can look like you have two different parties completely fighting against each other. But when you stack up what they're actually doing, they're all following the same agenda. But if they just give you a little bit of different flavoring and make you think that you're fighting for the winning side, you'll never ask any questions. You'll never think deeply about any of it. Why smartphones? These things are being subsidized. They gather an immense amount of information on you from your social media, from what channels you watch. This is not a conspiracy theory. Your car, if it's newer than 2006, is selling data on how much you weigh, how fast you normally go, how often you have a passenger, where you go, what songs you listen to, how you listen to your songs. This is a guaranteed fact, not a conspiracy theory. Your car. The thing is, they want to gather data on you when you're not working, when you're with your friends, when you're having a casual conversation. That's when they want to gather data on you. So they can't gather everything on social media. They can't gather what they want. They can't gather what they want on your home computer. They can't gather as much information on a tablet, and they certainly can't gather the information that they want on a doggone dumb phone. Which is why Verizon Wireless will give you a prepaid phone like this POS, but they charge you $60 a month. And they say that they don't have any of these LG phones and they'll never get them again. They don't want you to have them. They would rather pay you to have a smartphone. The government will give you a smartphone. They want this crap in your pocket. Now, will getting rid of a smartphone make you transparent? Absolutely not. And especially for me, nothing I can do would. But at the end of the day, what they need is patterns. When they want to flip the switch to totalitarianism, when the Antichrist wants to flip the switch to the tribulation, when we flip the switch to a cryptocurrency as a standard, when all money is entirely locked down, they not only can flag everyone who's going to be a problem for them, but they will know all of your patterns. You can't not have a pattern. I have less of a pattern than any of you watching, unless maybe you're retired. Anybody who is not retired and 50, 60 years old, I have less of a pattern than you do. I don't go work in the same place. I'm constantly all over the country. This summer, it's been like every other weekend. I've been somewhere completely new. And yet, with the data collected on me that is instantly organized and categorized, I could quickly find the patterns that I need to go snatch up some kids or erase some people. The problem is the average, with anything, there's a bell curve, okay? And at the center is the average. The average person is not very intelligent, and half the people are less intelligent. It doesn't take much to control people, and we are dependent. And anything that you can do to lessen the amount of data that they can mine on you and to lessen the number of patterns that they can put together for you, the more difficult you will make it for them to kill you. And if you are a moral patriot, and especially a true Christian, that is their goal. For all of the people that say I can't do it, let's talk about how I'll do it. I have a flip phone. I'll be picking up a nice vlogging camera because for some reason, to my own detriment, I still want to do YouTube. I will have a tablet because I believe that tablets, especially if you cover up the lenses, don't have near the data tracking capabilities of a phone. And a GPS, as long as these things have Bluetooth, I can continue doing what I'm doing. It's going to be a minor inconvenience. And a lot of times it's going to be frustrating. I get bored and I want to read and research. I always have since I was a little kid. I would get Peterson's four-wheeler magazines from my dad and read them cover to cover. Every advertisement, all the fine print, every ad, every article, everything. It's what I like to do. And that'll be hard for me. But how all of this works, from smartphones to any sin, to any vice, none of them are hard not to do till you get used to doing them. We can go back. There will be a day as a Christian where you will have to give up everything, and there will be no other option. You better start thinking of it as a reality right now, or if you're going to be killed or watch your children starve to death slowly. That's your two options. Maybe imprisonment as a third, but humane treatment will be out the window for Christians. It's out the window for Christians all over the world except for here. America's the last bastion, and nobody is coming to save you.